Today we're talking about how to get ready to retire early and travel. What are all the things that you need to get done if you want to quit your job and travel the world?
We gave up our corporate careers, sold everything we owned, and now we travel the world full time.
We got most of the preparations right, but there was one thing that we didn't do that we wish we had. So stick around till the end of the video to find out what it is.
If you've been following our story every week, it's great to have you back. We are still here in Split, Croatia, enjoying everything the coast has to offer. And if you're new to our channel, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Gillian. We're a couple who saved and invested our way to financial independence, and now we travel full time. So if you're looking for how-tos for early retirement and travel, you can subscribe for a new video every week.
If you've seen a few of our videos, you'll know that we used to be expats working in Singapore. We were very busy climbing the corporate ladder and feeling very stressed out, and then eventually we burnt out.
We used to spend a lot of money on fancy dinners and vacations trying to make ourselves feel better. And we also spent a lot of weekends wishing that our lives could be somehow different. Then it would be Monday and the whole cycle would begin again.
And now, here we are today. So everything we own is in a couple of suitcases. We're based in a new city every month, and we're living out our dream of traveling the world slowly.
Obviously, a lot happened between then and now. We didn't just wake up one morning, quit our jobs, and head off for a life of adventure. There were a lot of steps over a 2-year period that got us closer to our big goal. And today we're going to share with you exactly how we did it.
We'll take you through our entire countdown, from discovering financial independence, to deciding on our dream life, to emptying our apartment, and finally hitting the road. We're sharing everything we did over a 2-year period to totally reorganize our lives so that we could be full-time travelers.
Before we get into it, we wanted to say thank you to everyone who subscribed to our channel in the past year. We went from just 80 subscribers in January to the community that we have today. And this really encourages us to keep improving our content and to provide value to all of you.
As a small token of thanks, and in the spirit of the holiday season, we are doing a giveaway of a gift package from our next destination. So if you'd like a chance to win, all you need to do is subscribe to our newsletter. The link and all of the details are in the description below. Let's get this countdown started with what we were doing at the 2-year mark. So this was when we discovered the concept of financial independence and early retirement.
Well, that's not exactly true. Early retirement was something that I had been thinking about for many years. Ever since that first day when I sat down behind a desk and thought, I can't do this for the rest of my life. I understood the concept behind financial independence, meaning that at a certain point, the returns from my investments would be enough to fund my living expenses. But it wasn't until I stumbled upon the FIRE movement and all the online communities around it that I realized it could be something more than a fantasy.
Well, I had never heard of such a ludicrous thing as retiring early. I just assumed that everyone worked as long as possible because that's how things are done. And I certainly planned to keep climbing the corporate ladder as long as I could. So unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I eventually burnt out. And at that 2-year mark, I was finally ready to have a conversation with Gillian about this financial independence concept that she had been going on about.
So with Stephanie finally on board, we started educating ourselves about FIRE concepts. And by educate, I mean that we binged for months and months on blogs and vlogs and podcasts.
Once we dug into it, we realized that we were in a really good position to achieve financial independence really soon. In fact, in just 2 years. And this is thanks to our lifetime savings habit and having a solid base of investments.
It didn't hurt that we were working in Singapore where the personal tax rate is extremely low. And we talked about this more in a recent video about what we did right on the path to financial independence. That video and all the others that we mentioned today will be linked in the description below.
So this was a time when we were focused on calculating our target financial independence amount. So this is the amount where the returns on our investments would cover our living expenses on an ongoing basis.
We were also trying to understand how much our living expenses would actually be in retirement. We started tracking our expenses for the first time ever and discovered that our lifestyle had a lot of fat that could be trimmed.
For example, we were living in an expensive condo with a second bedroom that we never used. So we could instantly save $900 a month just by downsizing.
Now we're at 1 year before early retirement, and this is where our dreams really started to take shape. We knew we wanted to travel during the first few years of early retirement, but where would we go? How long would we be there? And how much would it cost?
So we spent our evenings and weekends reading travel guides and discovering yet another whole new world of blogs and vlogs and podcasts.
After spending 6 years living in Asia, we knew we wanted Europe to be the first stop on our world travels. So we spent hours researching routes on Rome to Rio and Google Flights. We compared the cost of living in different cities on Numbeo, and we looked at monthly rentals on Airbnb.
All of this was to come up with realistic plans and realistic budgets for our dream lifestyle of slow travel. And our research paid off because we were feeling pretty confident about our financial independence number, and we knew we could make our dream a reality.
Now, if any of this inspires you to think about your dreams, we have a free 7-day course to help you design your own freedom years. So be sure to check that out.
Of course, in all this planning, there's one thing that we didn't do that we wish we had. So stick around until the end of the video to find out what it is.
Now we're 6 months before the launch of our new lives, and it's time to get into the practical details for life on the road.
This was when we decided which health insurance to buy, which travel gear we needed, what bank accounts had the lowest international ATM fees. We also selected a mail forwarding service and got global SIM cards.
Of course, we also needed to book our travel. Nowadays, we like to keep our travel flexible and not plan too far ahead, but at that time, we wanted everything locked down in advance. So this is when we booked our plane tickets and our Airbnbs.
Finally, we took this as a good opportunity to get our affairs in order, so we updated our wills and our powers of attorney.
Moving on with our countdown, with just a couple months to go, the pace really accelerated. We gave our notice at work and turned most of our attention to downsizing a lifetime of possessions that had accumulated.
Some personal effects, like photo albums and mementos, we decided to ship back to Canada where they could be kept for the long term. But most things just had to go. So we used a local marketplace app called Carousel and sold over 200 items. Everything from our cabinet and coffee table to little things like measuring cups and mixing bowls.
During this time, our lunch breaks, evenings, and weekends were spent meeting up with buyers and trying to find a home for all of our belongings.
At the 1 week mark, we were down to the wire. This was a time to say goodbye to our colleagues and all of the friends that we had made in Singapore. It was also the time when our remaining furniture started to disappear. So one day, no more chairs, another no sofa, finally our bed was gone.
We had 1 full day left in Singapore with our flight to Poland scheduled for midnight. And this was when we finally tried to fit everything in our suitcases and discovered we still had too much stuff.
There were some tense negotiations that followed about what to keep and what to toss, but we were ultimately able to get within the maximum weight allowance for our flight. The lesson here is to not wait until the night of the big flight to finally weigh your luggage.
Finally, after 2 years of planning and preparation, what's the one thing that we didn't do that we wish that we had?
When we headed off for our new life of early retirement and long-term travel, we didn't know anyone in the FIRE community. Yes, we had been reading a ton of blogs and listening to podcasts, but we weren't active members in any forums.
We waited until we were actually on the road before starting our YouTube channel and connecting with others. And this meant that our first months on the road were a little quieter than we would prefer.
We would encourage anyone thinking about this path to take the time to find your tribe in advance and build some connections in the community.
And that brings us to our question for this week. Are you active in any online communities related to financial independence, retiring early, travel, or anything else? Let us know in the comments below.
And if you like this video, we recommend watching this one next. It's all about the surprises that we faced in our first year of early retirement. You can click on it now.
And be sure to hit that like if this video helped you out and subscribe for new videos every week. Thank you for watching. You guys are so awesome, and we'll see you back next time.